Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about health line number 4, which says you should swap your sugar for artificial sweeteners. Now let's start with the fact that most people swap sugar for artificial sweeteners because they want to lose weight, or they are diabetic and they cannot use sugar, so people recommend them to use sweeteners instead. Well, the studies showed that actually people who use artificial sweeteners, they gain more weight than people who use sugar. And don't get me wrong, I never ever recommend using sugar because sugar is just simply not good for you unless it's in its natural form. So I don't recommend added sugar. But there is some times when it's actually better to use sugar rather than artificial sweeteners. Also, it's proven that diabetics shouldn't use artificial sweeteners, that they are worse, far worse for them than sugar. In 2005, there was a 25-year-old study, San Antonio heart study. It showed that drinking diet soda, which contains artificial sweeteners, is much worse and causes more weight gain to people rather than a regular soda which is sweetened with sugar. Obviously, I don't recommend none of those. Soda is just better as it is, and I don't recommend it at all. But this study shows you how bad sweeteners, artificial sweeteners are. Well, later on in the video, I will show you my natural sweeteners that I use in my house and what I use them for. And please keep watching till the end to see that. Now, another study showed that an average consumption of one soda, diet soda a day, increases your risk of being overweight in the next 6 or 7 years by 65%. So why don't this artificial sweeteners really work? So first of all, a sweet taste, it doesn't matter if it's sugar or if it's artificial sweetener, it makes you more hungry than ever, and it makes you hungry for foods that are more calorific. You crave sweets then, and sugar and all that sugary stuff, and this causes more weight gain. Artificial sweeteners can also disrupt your body's natural calorie counting abilities. A study in Purdue University proved that if you drink drinks that are sweetened with artificial sweeteners, you're craving food that is more calorific. Now, the list of health risks associated with artificial sweeteners such as aspartame is endless, and I'm not going to go into that even in this video. You have to also remember that loads of products in the shops these days are sweetened with high fructose corn syrup, which is absolutely terrible, and it just destroys your health. So I always say that if you do have a choice of buy something that is sweetened with high fructose corn syrup or with sugar, then choose the sugar option, which I never recommend sugar, but in this case sugar is far better than high fructose corn syrup that causes so much damage in your body. So now I want to show you what I actually use in my kitchen. Now I've got here a xylitol, which I've been using for quite a few years now. It looks pretty much like sugar. It's got a very similar consistency. This is what it looks like. You should actually use it in a ratio 1:1. So 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of xylitol, it would give you the same sort of amount. Now, I suggest not to use too much of it when you only start using it, because it can cause diarrhea in larger amounts. So just do it, introduce it slowly into your diet. So I would normally sweeten things that would need probably around 1 tablespoon up to 2 with xylitol, and I've been using it for years. So if you start, just start slowly. But this is one of the healthiest options that you can use instead of sugar. Now, another sweetener that I use, natural sweetener that I use in my house, is erythritol. And it looks very similar to sugar as well. The consistency is very similar. This is what it looks like. And when it comes to erythritol, you can use it in, let's say, I use it for baking, and you can use slightly more than xylitol because it wouldn't give you diarrhea. You can use it as well as ratio 1:1 as sugar. So 1 cup of sugar would equal 1 cup of erythritol. Erythritol I use mainly in baking, which is amazing. It's got a very similar taste to sugar as well. Now, another sweetener is I've got coconut sugar in my house. It's got that sweet smell and flavor, which xylitol and erythritol, they don't have it. The consistency is like this. It's very brownish, and I would use it in baking as well in small amounts. Coconut sugar is known to have very low glycemic index, which is amazing. So when it comes to erythritol and xylitol, they don't raise insulin levels, which is great news for diabetics and for everyone anyway. And the same thing with coconut sugar, it raises your blood sugar much slower than a table sugar. So these are the 3 sweeteners that I have in my house. I also recommend stevia, which I don't have. I tried it, but it's not really my kind of taste. So if you don't mind the taste of stevia, which comes as well in a form of either powder form or leaves, then go ahead and use it. It doesn't raise insulin levels either. It's really healthy. So these are the 4 that I would recommend, and definitely use mostly erythritol and xylitol, but especially baking. But I have to say that I don't really sweeten stuff too much, because once you sort of quit sugar and sweet stuff, you don't really you don't have this need for sugary stuff and sweetening stuff, so which helps obviously, but sometimes if you're baking or you need to use sugar substitutes somewhere, then they are really helpful. So I wouldn't say I use them on a daily basis. So this would be it for today, guys. Please let me know in comments below. I'm really curious, what sweeteners or sugars do you use? If there's any healthy ones that I didn't mention, please let me know in comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.